Mary's a nice name.
And the world is a junkyard.
Yeah, the world is a junkyard and Mary is a nice name.
An object of desire, the city burns, she looks at me, my head turns.
One of my favourite things to do with my dad was like take rubbish to the big junkyard heap and throw things in, and then maybe there'd be like a nice table and then you can steal that.
Well, there's a lot going on. There's a lot that's discarded as well and kind of deemed as unimportant. And there's treasure. Like, junkyards are fascinating.
We were lucky in London to have lots of venues around us and relationships with people at those venues where they would sort of bring us back, and especially at the Windmill, we would like do opening sets every week. Even though we didn't have any music out, they would sort of give us a chance and let us come and play. And just through that, and just through the reputation some of those venues have for sort of breaking new artists, we managed to like meet up with some people who have sort of helped us get out of London, basically.
Our sound is kind of like trying to accept like the chaos of the music, but also having this thing gliding over it that's quite serene and peaceful. That's Mary.
Yeah, that's nice. There's a nice, like, all the songs are a bit different as well, so I think there's a nice kind of like chaotic variety to the set.
We don't want to like sound too clean, we just kind of want to be true to ourselves and like sound like how we are, which I think comes across.
It's all about honesty and like rawness, I think. Before I ever listened to rock music or folk music, it was like classical. So when we write stuff, our knowledge of like harmony and melody really comes from that. So
because that's how we like learn to play.
For me, I felt like there wasn't really like a place for me because it was not very creative or expressive. It didn't feel there was any room for any kind of fun, I guess. So
it's definitely something that influences the way we do things.
When I'm angry, there's always like tears there at the same time. I can't really be angry without being emotional as well. So it's kind of about that wholeness of emotion and just like being very honest about it and just like crying and shouting at the same time. Being a musician is just really chaotic. I find a huge comfort from characters and inventing these characters, especially when we're making visuals for the music. And like recently for Ghost, it was sort of the characters of moths. We had a Yeti in our last video.
Brian.
We've got Brian.
Paper mache head.
Yeah.
With 2 red eyes. Well, Brian existed before.
Yeah, Brian existed. Like, I made an EP of just like songs by myself, and Brian was the cover of that. We have a new character on the way at the moment that's gonna be revealed in our next video. I used to be really obsessed with moths, and Ghost was written kind of during that time. I wanted the video to be all about moths kind of being very conscious and flying around, sort of watching people do their thing inside their houses and like always wanting to come in and seeing that light and kind of, but being on the outside and being very delicate and small. And so the video for Ghost was sort of inspired by the idea of a moth going inside of the house and becoming big and human.
It's something really like live that we love about Marble Arch. Like it's like a really fun song to play live. We always kind of go crazy when we're playing that, so we wanted to have us playing our instruments in it.
The night vision camera, because it does strange things to our eyes as well.
Yeah, like we kind of look a bit like...
We turn into the monsters a bit. It's like...
We were playing with the idea of using like a hunter's camera to take the photo for our EP, but we didn't end up doing it.
It was the coldest day ever, actually.
Yeah.
It was so cold.
Trying to do like poses in front of this
camera, and we didn't even know if it was like taking photos.
Yeah, I think like anything can be an instrument. I think like, or anything can be like percussion, and everything's pitched in some way, I guess. I like just sticking together things that I see and then putting like strings and like tubes on it. I think it will be a really cool kind of junkyard link to have kind of weird instruments that only we can play. Yeah, I think it's just fun, to be honest. It's just really fun to give a life into something that people would throw away. Like I really like, I'm a big like believer in like reusing things all the time.